All right, Cancer, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for November 30th through December 6th. My name is Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology, very different from mainstream astrology, which you can find more about down below. All right, Cancer, so this week the veil lifts, the fog lifts when it comes to the future stuff, the uncertainty with that in terms of what we're building, where we're headed in our life, all of that Saturn squaring up to Neptune energy. And we are going to slowly start to feel that, especially around Tuesday after this Monday, Tuesday, after this sun eases up off of Saturn in that configuration, and then especially by the end of the week, once that Saturn square Neptune is out of its 1-degree orb there. And we do have some nice aspects this week. We have Mercury trining up to Uranus on Tuesday. We've got Mercury squaring up to Jupiter, which is usually quite optimistic. And the sun sextiling Mars, even though it is going to be a very transformative first half of December with Mars squaring up to Pluto, which I'll talk more about. But that'll be mostly this weekend and going into next week. So let's go and look at this. So first of all, doubt and uncertainty, maybe with your passions, your creativity, your self-expression, which has been perhaps quite serious lately with Saturn here in your 5th house. It's a good time to really build that, concretize that area of your life. A lot of times, our passions can become a reality in a long term, whether it's through our career, whether it's through some sort of project or something that we can really build into something. And that's Saturn in your 5th house, helping you structure those passions. Now with the sun on Monday will be over that Saturn. So, Monday in particular, there is that refinement in terms of, seeing what you're expressing and how to turn that into something tangible. Now, the sun does rule your 2nd house as well. So with the financial stuff, I would say keep things nice and grounded here around Monday, and especially the previous weekend leading up to this week with the sun so close to Saturn like that. But I think you naturally will be. I think there is that grounding. And I think naturally there could be uncertainty and doubt about maybe some of these areas, self-expression, maybe material. But just, like I've been saying, the faith is really needed with this, which is Neptune, and the hard work, which is Saturn. So that'll ease. And then as we approach the rest of the week, we'll notice becoming easier. On Tuesday, we do have Mercury trining up to Uranus. So this is actually quite exciting. When it comes to that self-expression, I think there's an element of this that is changing things up. It's changing that routine. So when it comes to your life path, when it comes to anything abroad, anything distant, anything you consider expanding your horizons, there is this sort of change happening, or it depends on a personal chart to the extent, but it's usually some sort of new perspective. Something could be literally something new, something exciting that kind of frees up that humdrum of the daily routine of Mercury for you, with maybe taking this self-expression or creative stuff seriously. But it is good energy to work with. Your communications could be quite freeing up as well. And also the alone time, the meditative time could be quite nice too here with this transit. And again, it's pulling you to see the bigger picture. It could be someone from abroad. It could be, a philosophy, some sort of, teaching or something like that really helps you see the overarching view of things versus that very strong Saturnian view of things, as we'll all be feeling this early part of the week. And there is some healing taking place with this too, when it comes to communications and all of that self-expression. So do just be aware that you are healing there, and to take it nice and slow. But I think naturally as a result, you'll be feeling quite rejuvenated in those areas as Tuesday continues and unfolds. Then as we go into Friday, Mercury does square up to Jupiter. So here there is that optimism. And with all squares, it is important to keep everything nice and grounded without going to any extremes with Jupiter. But it is a good insight, and it's coming in from maybe these opportunities with the financial material stuff. You've had Jupiter in your 2nd house for almost the past 6 months. So here, it could be something nice, but again, it depends on your personal chart. But at the very least, you could be quite optimistic about just, you expressing yourself and you moving forward, and your self-esteem could be quite high too with Jupiter in that 2nd. Especially in relation to anything you're working on right now involving these passions or creativities or hobbies or 5th house things. Now, over the weekend, the sun does sextile up to Mars. So there is this drive, there's this intent, this vital life force and motivation available for you, again, to continue with these hobbies, creative things, self-expression, whatever it might be in the 5th house. Fifth house, by the way, is also, it's also romantic if there's something serious going on there. It's also children, for those of you who have children in your life. Anything artistic in that sort of creative sense, but pretty much anything that comes from us, and it could be a business, entrepreneurship, speculative business, things like that, that have that sort of creation or passionate energy behind them. So that's going to be a big focal point for you this week. And I think with Saturn, it's all grounding it, making it quite solid. And then over the weekend, there is that drive, that motivation to continue to pursue those things. And there's already been a lot of drive for maybe you to communicate, to socialize, to express yourself, generally speaking, with Mars in this third house. And that's good energy to work with over the weekend as well. And you could be quite motivated too about the material financial things also. Now, over the weekend, Mars does start to square up to Pluto. So here there is that change happening. And it's change with the self-expression again and your career stuff. So the key with Pluto is that, Pluto is always helping us see things on a very deep level, especially in a square. It's not always easy to see that and to be willing to change. But depending on our approach to this, the more willing we are to change, then that's the constructive way of working with Pluto. Then it happens not so much easy because we still have to put in the work and we still have to put in the intention, but it becomes easier, that's for sure. And we become more of an agent of change in our life versus change happening to us. So be open over the weekend and into next week to change the way you create, the way you express yourself, any of those fifth house things I mentioned, as well as how you communicate. And even with the big picture career stuff, since Mars rules that 10th house. And I think, through that, you can build, a good restructure. You can build a new foundation in your life involving those areas. But sometimes it does take clearing out the old to make way for the new. And like I said, the more willing we are to do that, the easier it is. All right, Cancer. So that'll be mostly into next week. The highlight of this week is certainly going to be that fog lifting. Things becoming a little bit clearer when it comes to the future unfoldments, the life paths, the deeper stuff in life, as well as the self-expression, creativity, and all that fifth house stuff. All right, Cancer, so have a great week. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already done so, do check out the 2-for-1 readings I'm offering for the holidays on the next page, and I will see you all next time. Take care.